well. This is going to be a little bit of a blowout, I feel like. Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And I hope everybody's having a great day. We are here again with another video, and I'm super stoked to be bringing you another deck that I feel like is super powerful, and I do feel like this is a deck that could easily rank you. But before we hop into today's deck, as always, I want to remind everybody, if you enjoy the deck, the channel, the video, please like, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links down below. As well, make sure you join the Discord. It is, to me, would be super important for you guys to join because I love interacting with each and every one of you. But yeah, anything you do to help the channel, it does help the YouTube algorithm, so please do that. But let's just hop right into this deck. And today we are playing Torrential Mastery. So this is a deck, again, focusing on one of the cool new cards from Strixhaven. Really, a couple of them if you're counting some of the ones that were reprinted. But mainly, we're focusing on Magma Opus. Magma Opus is just a really super powerful card. It is a 8 mana instant. Yes, that is a lot of mana, but it deals 4 damage divided however you want. You get to tap 2 permanents, you get to create a 4/4 creature, and you get to draw 2 cards. On top of that, it does have that cool ability that we're really focusing on, and that is paying either 2 blue or 2 red, hybrid of those mana. Discard Magma Opus, create a treasure token. You don't actually get to really cycle it. So, a lot of people call this treasure cycling, where you just discard to make a treasure. But that extra treasure is going to allow us to ramp potentially into a lot of our really, our big payoff cards a turn early because we're getting treasure tokens to do this with. So ideally what we want to do is we could potentially at the end of their turn 2, we could basically treasure cycle to make our 3rd mana, and then on our 3rd turn we play our 3rd land, and then we could Mizzix's Mastery and then cast Magma Opus, therefore destroying maybe 1 or 2 creatures that they may have put out in play, maybe deal a little bit of damage to them as well. If we have a little bit of carryover damage, we get to make a 4/4, we get to tap some stuff. The tapping is really kind of irrelevant at that point, but then we get to draw 2 cards, and then we just potentially draw more cards, have more answers, and just do those things. If we cannot do that, Mizzix's Mastery, because we are only playing 2, we could potentially drop a Teferi on turn 4 instead of turn 5. Really, really, really powerful to do that. That allows us to then draw a card, untap 2 additional lands. Those 2 lands that we get to untap could potentially lead to us having a removal or a counterspell to protect Teferi. Or really what we could do is basically the point of our deck, and that is to Torrential Gearhulk. So Torrential Gearhulk is basically allowing us to do what Mizzix's Mastery does for instants. So we play this 6 mana 5/6 flash creature. It's a huge body, being a 5/6. Comes into play, we get to cast any instant from our graveyard for free. This just happens to be an 8 mana instant. So we could do this on turn 5 with this treasure that we've generated here. And then we get to cast a Magma Opus and then do all that stuff that we had already mentioned. We're also playing a couple of Sublime Epiphanies because I do think Torrential Gearhulk partnered with Sublime Epiphany is really, really stupid powerful. It's got 5 different modes. So it's a 6 mana counterspell essentially. So the 5 modes are, and you could choose 1 or more. So if you're able to do all 5 of these, it's just going to be a huge blowout. But typically you're going to be doing at least usually 3 to 4 of these. But you get to counter a spell, counter an activated or triggered ability, return something to somebody's hand, create a token that's a copy of a creature you control, which is usually going to be Torrential Gearhulk, or always going to be Torrential Gearhulk, and then player draws a card. So again, when you cast Torrential Gearhulk and target Sublime Epiphany or vice versa, you're basically guaranteeing that you get an extra Torrential Gearhulk off of this. If you already have a Torrential Gearhulk in play and then you cast Sublime Epiphany, you get to copy Torrential Gearhulk. That Gearhulk comes into play, and then you get to potentially recast the Sublime Epiphany that you just cast from your graveyard, giving you an additional 5/6. So basically, you'd have 3 Torrential Gearhulks in play at that point. Really, really, really super powerful. And I mean, really, what I had mentioned here in regards to, we're just going to hop back over to the Teferi real quick. When you get to untap with these 2 mana or 2 lands, you will potentially have access to Memory Lapses, Lightning Helixes, 1 copy of Dovin's Veto. If you have treasure available, we'll be able to Prismari Command. Prismari Command's great. This is also an enabler. We could do this at the end of turn 3 to potentially power out something faster as well, because we can make treasure tokens with this. We can deal 2 damage. We can draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, or we can destroy an artifact. So, I mean, yeah, this deck is just a Jeskai control shell with just really good synergies. Magma Opuses just really help us speed up our deck. We actually, at that point, get to start being aggressive as opposed to just super passive and, responsive to whatever they're doing. So we're just going to, like I said, we're going to try to do a little bit of, we'll call it Jeskai ramping with treasures, and then power out our own super powerful cards a little bit earlier than normal, catch our opponents off guard, and just kind of see what we're doing. So we are playing 61 cards. I know, every once in a while, for whatever reason, you guys will mention that in the comments, but I do want to let you guys know sometimes I play 61 cards, sometimes I play 60. I don't really think the math matters. We're playing 25 lands. On top of those 25 lands, we're playing 6 enablers to allow us to get treasures. So I do feel like it's fine. The land in this deck, again, 25 land, you can kind of mix and match as you choose. I definitely want to be playing 4 Triomes since we're playing 3 colors. But then it's going to be up to you on whether or not you want to play a mix or match of some of these lands. You may or may not necessarily need the Cast Larden Veils, but they could potentially be a finisher when you're making 1/1s. And then Fable Passages are really good in the deck with Brainstorms, because they do allow you to put cards back in your library, then shuffle those cards away, potentially drawing better cards. And so since we're playing Fable Passages, we do have to play some amount of basic lands. So yeah, this is going to be the deck. We're going to hop right in. Again, I've been having really great success with this deck. I think I've really only lost like 1 game since I've started playing it. So yeah, this deck, I have been climbing the ladder with it. So I do want to let you guys know I'm not going to be playing any ladder, but you are going to be able to climb the ladder with this deck, or ranked, or whatever we're calling it now. But this is definitely a competitive deck. So it's really well matched against a lot of decks out there. So let's just hop in the gameplay, and we'll see what happens in our 7-game run, and then we will talk to you guys at the wrap up. All right, so let's see if Torrential Mastery is any good. You just got a feeling that being able to discard the Magma Opus is going to be super powerful. All right, we're going to keep. Just don't Thought Seize me, please. Seize me. They'll collect. All right. We'll leave up Memory Lapse just in case. Like, if they try to go crazy here. Panic Brawl. Eh. We're going to buy ourselves a turn. This allows us to essentially, save 3 damage, 4 damage, really. Belt Collector, okay. Yeah, we'll allow you to get some of these. I do think we just Wrath here. Alright, so we're just going to put back 2 land. let's start this game over, folks. Oh, so they were on the triple Ult Collector draw. Wow. So, do we think... I think it's just fine to just do this here, right? We're at 17. Hello. Have another 1-drop into a 2-drop? Bone Crush. Alright, well we're gonna take a peek. Ooh. Alright.
I won't hide from the world any longer. We need to move quickly.
Alright, let's untap some good ones. We have a Veto. We can't counter the... That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Your thing. Yeah, they have to focus on Teferi here, which is great. Let's draw first before we draw Wrath here. We just Wrath. So we could discard this, cast this, block, deal 4. Yeah, we're about to pop off here. All right, well. This is going to be a little bit of a blowout, I feel like. We're going to take a little bit of damage, so we're just going to put all 4 at the Bone Crusher Giant. Tap up to 2 permanents. I do feel like they probably have an Ember Cleave here. All right. They don't have an Ember Cleave. Okay. Yep. That was a blowout. That really was. Really was a blowout. I don't even know why it showed in ranked. We're definitely playing unranked. Are we back to having these visual glitches? Let's restart the clip. All right, well. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we playing against? Yorion? You go first, please. This is good. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hydrate at the start of the game. Not even while we're waiting. We're going to throw everybody off. We're hydrating. All right, let's go. What kind of Yorion deck are we playing here? We do have the mana. Valky. Only gonna take creatures? Well, we don't have a creature. No creature for you, my friend. I was about to say, really just depending on what they do. This way we actually have a memory lapse available for some kind of removal spell. They can only go 2 at Teferi. We're fine with that. Yeah. You are doing it. You're getting Yorion. Yeah, you're a little bit behind. Little bit behind. Now let's draw first. Usually you should always draw first with Teferi. You obviously get to play your turns a little bit differently. They know we have this Plains. We're just going to kill this now, and we get to untap. Still have this Memory Lapse. They still don't have anything. They're going to be discarding. We're not going to play Brainstorm. We have absolutely no reason to play Brainstorm right now. Again, let's draw. So, yeah. Sorry about that, my friend Emilio. You did get a little man screwed, but yeah. So again, I just want to remind everybody, the reason we did not Brainstorm there at the end of their turn, we didn't need to, right? And if they're playing black, we don't want to see them play a Thoughtseize against us. So one of the great things about Brainstorm is the ability to put those 2 cards back. So we draw 3, potentially giving them 3 more targets for their Thoughtseize potentially, but then we get to put back the 2 cards that we don't want them to Thoughtseize. Again, if that play were to play out that. So, but just a little bit of advice, sometimes you want to hang on to your Brainstorms, especially decks like this. Yorion decks typically do have discard. Valky is a form of that. Had we Brainstorm, maybe we had a Torrential Gearhulk in our hand, we could have tucked it so they wouldn't even. So, but yeah, that's that. So, on to the next game. And that's just another great reason for the Magma Opuses being able to power out the Teferis. And I did hit on that earlier, while we were doing the intro. But yeah, getting that extra burst of mana to be able to drop a 5-drop is really good. Or to, race out your Torrential Gearhulk. But in that case, obviously, it was all about the fairy. Opponent goes first. This is not a horrible hand. Opponent's on a mulligan, it looks like. We're going to keep. Those are cool sleeves. Alright, they're on life gain. Everybody seems to be on this life gain deck. This life gain deck is scary, right? You get enough angels in play. If this is even the angel version, which it may not be. I do want to kill this Soul Warden. Valkyrie. Ugh. Back on top, my friend. Take some damage. Take some damage. I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to kill this Soul Warden when he plays that and make a treasure. There's an argument for also digging for 2 cards to potentially hit a Wrath of God against them. All right, 14. Oh. I mean, in all reality, got 2 white. Do kind of want to stick with more blue. I'm not going to Wrath yet. I'm going to try to draw some more creatures out. I'm going to Magma Opus as well. Well, I'm going to discard it. Yep. We'll take 4, go to 10. Let's see where we're working. So. Yep, we're taking it. Play that last card. Just play that last. All right. So we have a Lightning Helix up, and then we have Teferi back up. I think we're okay. I think we are okay here. Ooh, what if their last card's Manatee, then we just pay it with this treasure? Oh, are they going to salty rope us because we cast a fairy? It's a fairy salt is real, my friends.
Right on schedule. You know what? I'm not done.
Mastery is pretty good. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me see what's in here. Oh. Oh, come back. Onan. Oh, we were about to Mizzix Mastery our Opus and hit this, tap these that are already tapped, get a 4/4, draw 2 cards. Yeah, the game was beyond over. Actually, we couldn't even do that turn because we had to untap during our end step. But yeah, still ridiculous. This deck is really powerful. Yeah, this deck just seems really, really powerful. Ran into this, well, ran into a version of this, I feel like, on the ladder, and I'm just like, it seems like it could deal a lot of damage. There's a lot of quick, unfair things you can do if you're able to discard a Magma Opus really early on. Rodrigo, welcome to the game. All right, what are we doing? We're not helixing anything. Could potentially be brainstorming. Brainstorming into hopefully some land, which will enable us to cast some of our other spells. Well, we got our other land. What's our opponent playing? Are they using this treasure? Or this food? Definitely want to kill this goose. Ooh. So, I mean, again, I think we just put back Double Helix. So I feel like they are on the Neostorm deck. Solve the equation. Okay, so I was 100% accurate. We're going to kill this Gilded Goose here if they allow us to. But deal 2 damage, create a treasure. We're going to drop to Fairy here. We're going to get the card draw and control started.
I know what must be. Hurry.
Hammer of Possibilities. All right. You get down with your bad self. Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that. So they don't really realize that we're not playing a bunch of permission like counter spells. But we do have enough removal for their creatures when they try to go off with their Neoform combo and Seagate Wizard or whatever it's called. So yeah, all we can do is gather our cards up, sit down in front of our next opponent, shuffle up, and hope we get the same outcome. Let's go. Next opponent. I really just want to cast this Mizzix Mastery. Or, I'm sorry, this Magma Opus as quickly as possible. Keep? I think so. See what our opponent does first here. Probably playing a black deck because they have the Ravens. Alright, well. This has potential. I do feel like we actually should have left open. We should have brainstormed here. I do feel like we probably should have brainstormed. Guess it doesn't matter. Love Struck Beast is a thing. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this thing. One, two. I like it. I definitely like it. I don't like being at 16 though with them having a 5/5 on the board. Okay. That's good. Definitely get to kill that. Interesting. So this says when the enchanted creature dies. Alright, so let's go get another blue source here. Let's go Let's destroy an artifact and make a treasure token. Right. We kill the Paradise Druid now? Nope. Do we attack? Nope. So we definitely don't want Journey to Eternity to flip for any reason. Right. Question is, do we hit this? No, we're gonna let it hit. Why? Because we get to take this damage and then bounce this Lovestruck Beast, getting rid of the Journey to Eternity. Oh, that works out too as well, so let's...
I'm known for my excellent timing.
We could care, right? Do we care? So if we untap, that forces them to have... Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Hold that thought.
No attacks. Alright. Alright, so we did that because we're going to force action here. Right? Now they cannot attack. All they can attack with is their Paradise Druid. And we're just going to ferry them out of this game. Wow.
Let me know if you're up for round 2.
Good stuff there. What do we do? What do we do? Go digging for another Teferi. That's what we do. Again, don't want to attack because the Lovestruck Beast can block. It just cannot attack because it's number 1. Ooh. So, we're going to put you back and you back. I don't really necessarily want another... I guess we don't need that. All right, well... What do we get here? Let's play a right.
Let's slow this down. Hurry.
Well, we do get to do fun things again next turn. I almost submitted 0. Wasn't even thinking about Teferi. As you can tell, I don't play with Teferi a lot. If they have another Maelstrom Pulse, they would have had to have done that. Shuffle that land away. right. So that's the good news. You can actually cast this during their upkeep. Again, we're gonna do some crazy stuff, right? We are going to force them to attack. You know what I did not expect? Carnage Tyrant. Deal 4 damage to you. But yeah, we are blocked. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be wrapping this game up here, even with the Carnage Tyrant. We are going to... We can attack. They go to 6. We could gear hold now. We'll kill him next turn. Or 2 cards. You know it's bad when your opponent's discarding basically 2 Wrath of Gods. Sure thing. Tap 2 permanents because it doesn't matter. Draw some burn. Oh man, our hand is stacked right now. All right, and let's get him. No reason to do crazy things and trying to copy our Torrential Gearhulk or anything like that, bouncing it. Oh yeah, just to force through damage. That was a demolishing. It was actually a fun game though. It actually got to highlight a lot of good cards, a lot of good interactions. We got to see our command actually destroy an artifact. We got to see them play big uncounterable creatures. We got to see us make sure that they couldn't attack with their 5/5. There was actually just a lot of different good things. And that was just a fun overall game of Magic. Sweet. I'm glad we got to highlight that one. But yeah, again, I also don't want to take away from what our opponent did. You know, they had Maelstrom Pulse when they needed it. They actually had Journey to Eternity, which is a card that we used to love to play back when it was in Standard a long time ago. So their deck was really cool. I wish we could have seen more of it. All right, what are we doing over here? I need to draw. We're gonna keep this, and I think, I think Memory Lapse is the worst card in our hand. Get to see how much damage we take here. Wizard's Lightning. All right, you know what we do here, right? Boop. We basically negated a shock, like. So they're doing this to turn on their light up the stage. So again, I think we just give it to him. Yeah, these Lightning Helixes against this deck are lining up very, very well. Okay. We definitely have to kill this, right? They're both wizards. So I do want to do 2 damage. I draw 2. These are essentially the same thing, right? So card 2. Yeah, so they can buy their Luris here. Okay, so we take 5. Not bad, not bad. They could have just bought the Luris, though, right? Oh, and they're just scoops magoopsin. I don't think that they should have scooped there. Obviously, we were just discarding a Magma Opus, but they probably felt like we were going to do something with it there. Well, all right. Good game to you, my friend. Good game. Good game. You know what it's time for? The final boss. We're destroying people with this. This is a powerful deck. Super powerful. All right, we're going for it. We're going for the old 7-0 against the final boss. Let's bring up the graphic. Let the final battle begin. Let's go. All right, are we keeping this? Chris, potentially Wrath on turn 3. We need to. Don't know if we necessarily want to. But let's go. Oh, no. No, no. Oh, you got nothing. You got nothing, my friend. Nothing. Get wrecked, as they would say. Oh, are we playing rogues? Are we playing rogues? I think we are. Good rogues. Brainstorm, Wrath of God. I don't want to put any additional cards into my grave. Yep. Not going to hit anything with that. I mean, I guess 2 is the same as 3. Yeah. I know you guys are thinking, you know what? You don't Wrath away 1, but you do. So that was a really weird choice there, right? You can Wrath me into it. You could Wrath me into a land. Let's see what happens. See what happens. We only have 5 cards in our graveyard right now. Seems really good. Yep. Seems really good. Wow, so that was like a super fast final boss battle. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do what we do. We're going to give everybody an additional game. Because we've had a lot of super fast games. Let's go one more. To the final boss battle we go. The real final boss, the extra final boss battle. Big happy. All right. What are we doing here? Opponent goes first. They are on another Luris deck. We're going back-to-back Luris. What happens? They always have the Thoughtseize. Not sure I completely agree with pulling Teferi there. I do feel like you probably should have pulled Lightning Helix. You doing? All right. Well, we would have discarded Teferi, but now we're just going to discard. Nah, we're going to counter that. Draw it again. Do it all over. All right, let's discard. Now you can still draw 2, but it's going to cost you a different creature. Pretty good. Pretty good. Why couldn't we draw a land there, game? Pretty good. All right, let's put a target on our back in the form of Teferi. Let's draw something amazing like a Lightning Helix. What? I never guessed you would have
Keep up the pace.
village rights away a token. Never in my wildest dreams.
I won't let you
Okay.
win.
We got Croxa coming. Oh, that ain't doing nothing. That ain't hitting anything. You feel like this deck pairs really well against this aggro deck just because of the fact that a lot of those decks are playing Inquisition, and again, we're not, you know, we're not needing to actually do anything with it. I'm sorry, none of our spells that were, I mean, yeah, they can hit Lightning Helix and Memory Lapse, but I mean, all of our good spells are all the mana. We just want to make sure we hit all the mana. So, what could we do here? So we could go 1, 2, 3. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, untap, 1, 2, play Gear Hulk. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do.
You know what? I'm not done.
Oh, Mizzix Mastery? Okay. Just Mizzix Mastery instead of playing Gear Hulk? The exact same play. And turn. Okay, so you're definitely going to give us some targets here. All right, let's go. Seems good. We're doing it. And you know what? I will trade the Fairy to bounce Croxa. 100%. I will -3. I will definitely minus here. In a bad spot, my friend. Okey-doke. Discard a card. You know, we just get rid of Day of Judgment. Because we're never going to cast Day of Judgment ever again. Sure thing. Oh. I did say kill it. Bounce, copy, draw. Draw. Yep, and then we do it again. And this time we cast Lightning Helix, we draw a card. So yeah, that's what this deck can do. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. All right, well, let's talk about it. All right, everybody. That was an amazing run of games. Again, I told you guys when we started that this was a competitive deck. We managed to actually not go 7-0, but we went 8-0. Yeah, so again, I do feel like this is a very competitive deck. Again, this is another deck, and again, with Historic, you are going to run into a lot of decks, or you're going to need a lot of cards. You're going to need a lot of wild cards, a lot of crafting. So again, I do apologize. I do feel bad sometimes whenever I, highlight these decks, because I want everybody to have access to be able to play these decks, but I know not everybody has the wild cards for them. So, maybe we'll touch on another video where maybe we can actually try to come up with a plan on how, Wizards could potentially revamp their economy, because their economy is just trash. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse as new sets come out. It's going to be harder for people to get into Historic, and I feel bad about that. I want more people to be able to play Historic. Historic is a lot more fun than Standard. The only good thing about Standard is that Standard does, rotate, and it does feed into Historic. So while you're earning Standard cards, yes, you are technically earning Historic cards. But again, if you're not able to collect whole sets, it's going to be harder and harder for people to get into Historic as time progresses. So, but yeah, so, we have a bunch of mythics. This is a mythic, this is a mythic, these are mythics, this is mythic. Day of Judgment's a mythic, but Wrath of Gods are rare. You just play 4 Wrath of Gods. But a lot of everything else is rare. And again, what I say in most of my videos, once you start going after Historic cards, if you're trying to save up, if you're trying to build your collection, go after your lands first. But again, this deck was super, super powerful. Magma Opus, definitely one of the best cards in Strixhaven. Super powerful. There's so many ways to take advantage of it. Torrential Gearhulks, Mizzix's Mastery, just really great. Torrential Gearhulks, just one of those classic cards, from this block that is just always going to be one of those threats that you have to always wonder if your opponent's playing and if they could take advantage of any of the instants that they've already cast. And Sublime Epiphany, with, partnering with Torrential Gearhulk, is super busted. Teferi's busted as always. But yeah, Lightning Helix is crazy. Brainstorm, what were they thinking? I'm still, even though it's not super, super, super powerful, this card can definitely swing some games. And I definitely feel like we're just like 1 or 2 sets away from something going wrong and Brainstorm just being really ridiculous. So, yeah. But yeah, this deck is great. I love it. I hope you guys enjoy the deck. If you do enjoy the deck, the channel, the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. Join the Discord. Anything you do, again, always helps. I'm glad to be making videos again for everybody. Let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Comment with Magma Opus is busted. I would love to see how many people actually make it to the end of the video. So, but yeah, thanks again for watching today's video. Please stay safe. We will see you next time.